Hey, it's Gina from Stop Talking About Fragrance, and it's time for me to start talking about the last animation that I did. Over the past 2 weeks, I've been discovering, sampling 8 or 9 different Black-owned fragrance houses, and they have just really opened my eyes to these great fragrances, these great scents, and very inspiring visually and creatively. Okay. All right, I wasn't going to do an impromptu video about this. This is incredible. Motif Olfactive, Kimberly, New York, the Nick Ricardo collection, Maison de Darius, Chris Collins, Maya and Jai, and of course, Pink MahogHany. What drew me into this house was the perfumer slash founder, Chavalia D. Mwamba. She is just a bright beam of sunshine. You can see that she works very, very hard. She does live Instagram posts sometimes, and you can just see that she's doing 1,000 things at once. And she really is. She's a music producer, a music director, a music teacher. She's a board member of a nonprofit organization that she's been working on for a long time. And most of all, she's a mother. And just that is, you know, a lot of hours of the day. So I don't know how she is managing to perform at such a high level, such a high quality, with such a big smile on her face and with such purpose. And she operates out of Dallas, Texas. I think she's been doing this since 2005. And her brand is Pink MahogHany. A couple of months ago, I reached out to her and said I would love to do some sort of animation with her. And she said, well, hold off because I'm having new bottles made. And I was like, ooh, new bottles. And I've been following the journey. She's been posting pictures. She's been showing different options that she has, and even taking a little bit of influence on what her followers would want. And I think that's such an interesting concept of building your brand with your community. So as I was exploring all of these Black-owned fragrance houses, I thought this would be a great time to try her fragrances out. Up until now, it's just been pretty pictures and just seeing this person being so productive. So this was not supposed to be an animation. I mean, I hadn't planned one for this discovery set. But when I opened it up, I noticed that it had this beautiful fabric, which I've seen on her Instagram, and I saw her folding the fabric and packaging it up, and I thought that was such a nice process. But when it actually came, it was more intricate of a fold than I thought it would be. I thought it was just like that. And as I started unfolding it, I realized that it's not gonna be easy to put it back together again. So I thought, well, it might be cool to un-origami it in an animation just to see if I can do something with it. So I set up my camera and started my animation. Now I wanted to do something that looped, and that seems like a fun concept at the very beginning. It's very simple, but when I wanted to put something from her life into it, which is music, like, okay, so the whole video loops. It's gonna be a short video. The whole video loops, but then the music has to loop. Okay, so if the music has to loop, this has to happen at this moment, this has to happen at this moment, but what song? I have to choose the song. And it was sort of a brain buster for a long time.
Any more brain busters?
And then I was just like, let's just, put it together and then see what happens. I had an idea for the animation that it would be traveling backwards as this unraveled, that it would come in close and all you would see is fabric. It would open up and start unfolding, and you would get further and further back. And then the fragrances would just pop up, almost hovering above. And we'd keep moving back and back and back. So what I do for most of these animations is really research the brand and research what colors they're using, what patterns, what imagery, and try to cater it towards the brand so that people understand that it's part of this bigger thing. I wanted to use the colors, and I wanted to use, she has these interesting posts every once in a while where it's just a solid color and then something framed in the middle. I thought that was really cool. So I wanted to kind of like use that as like you're moving past a bunch of frames with colors and a little bit of texture. And also the fragrances themselves, when you look at these from far away, you can't really see the names of them, but I wanted to show a little bit more of what they are. So I decided to look up what images she used to depict each fragrance. And I went onto her website and I went onto the Instagram. And as I looked around, I noticed that she uses specific imagery for the main notes of the fragrances. So I pulled those images for each fragrance, and as they sprayed to the time of the beat, you know, to the rhythm of the beat, they would flash on as the background. So it is very subtle, but you do get a little bit of a glimpse on a couple of bigger notes within the compositions of each fragrance. In here, we have 6 different fragrances. Right here. Hopefully, I don't know if that's gonna, I'm not even holding them right. All right, that's the best way to hold them. I guess this way? I don't know. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Guess who's bad at this? Guess who has 6 fragrances in his hands and is bad at this? Oh, why would that one go down? Stop it. The one thing I love about this house is the fragrances match the names that they are given. Sometimes when you are smelling something that has a name that you kind of associate a smell to, and you're like, oh, I know what that's gonna smell like, and then you smell it, it's like, that has nothing to do with what that name actually means. And sometimes it's just a name that inspired the fragrance or something that they came up with afterwards. But I like when the fragrance kind of matches the name. My favorite of these are French Cuffs and Tandem. And in French Cuffs, let me spray a little bit of it on me. Gent was one of the bigger selling fragrances, and I liked it a lot. But French Cuffs is my jam. Immediately, it's just like this dark, kind of sweet but brooding at the same time, kind of woody, smoky. Oh yeah, I mean, I just love that, and it lasts a good amount of time too. Also, the dry down is really, really good. I'll put the notes right here so you can see them. Then I'll take them away. Then I'll put them back. Then I'll put notes that aren't even in it. Okay. Then I'll put music notes. All right. Then I put music goats. I'm done. Tandem is another really great one. The essence of Tandem doesn't immediately get to you, but as it dries down, I just love the way that smells. It's a light, very relaxing, very comforting scent. Here's the notes right here. And here's some oats. I don't know why I'm doing that. Lastly, I wanted to bring up one other thing that I thought was really cool on my research of Chavalia.
I am one of approximately 3 known female perfumers of color in the United States. I was actually the first female perfumer of color from Texas.
I mean, there are, I don't know how many there are now, but she was the first, and I think she's such a trailblazer by spirit that there is, you know, no wonder that she's the first at doing many different things in the future. I really have a tremendous amount of respect for her and the art that she's creating. And I really feel the essence of music pulsing through her fragrances. You can really feel the rhythm. There's a music kind of push through her art, and you can definitely feel it in her perfumery. So please tell me if you've ever tried Pink MahogHany PM fragrances. Have you ever met Chavalia? I would imagine she's a very amazing person to meet. Also, if you have other suggestions about Black-owned fragrance houses, I'm all ears. I really want to dive into more and put them in the comments below. A lot of these are indie brands and I love independent perfumery. So that's where I am right now. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the animation and the thought process behind it. I hope you check out Pink MahogHany PM fragrances, and I hope you support indie perfume at this time, especially Black-owned business. This is Gino, and it's time for me to stop talking about fragrance. I'm gonna put some votes on the screen.